Go.
So, we will proceed to understanding the group dynamics. So, unsa man nato understand a certain group or a certain group of members. So, natay mga lain-lain nga mga kwan. Unsa man di ay na kwan kasi atong balikon ang unsa ang meaning sa group dynamics ha. So, group dynamics, it refers to the interactions between people who are talking together in a group setting. So, kini nga part kay ani na to kanang makita na to ang group setting, it's either in business setting, classroom, social setting, or volunteer setting. So unsa man day understanding the group dynamics. So when we say understanding the group dynamics is a critical component of a successful management. Ngano man, kay diri man gud nato ang makita ang certain behavior o mga laing-laing klase sa pamatasan sa usa ka grupo. So it describes the behaviors of individual in one group and the behaviors of one group of people with a group of people. So sorry guys sa kulba. So diri nga part makita na to ang mga lain kinaiya pamatasan or in other words kanang mga differences sa usa ka grupo. So naani siya kay points. Proceed. Next part. Next. So na siya 4 key points of understanding the group dynamics. So first is a strong leadership is important within a group. So during a part kay a leader should guide the development of the group and the path to the goal that needs to be reached. So during a part kay kanang a leader should guide her members para ma-achieve ang usa ka goal nila. So dapat natay strong leadership. When we say strong leadership kanang nindot gani ang ato ang kanang communication, walay kanang ma-pride like that. Then second is second is recognize how personalities affect to the team dynamics. So obviously, each person's working within a group brings to that group his her own individual personality and skill set. Recognizing each person's styles of work, motivation, and levels of aptitude can help a manager understand how that person fits within the group as a whole. So diri nga part kay diri na to makita ang mga personality sa matag usa ka nato within the group. Then third Third is understand the life cycle of a group. So there are many kanang kuan. According to Toxman's model, daghan siya mga klase na how you nurturing the team to high performance. First is forming. So sa forming, diri nga part kay mas a team members are positive and polite but some are often might feel anxious. So diri nga part kay kuan kanang getting to know each other diri nga part sa forming. So diri na to makita ang kanang how individual interact or how individual will get started to interact with each other. So second is storming. Diri nga part is at this time people push against boundaries. There is often conflicts around personalities and different working styles. So diri na to nga diri makita sa storming ang mga kanang kuan diri na makita now magtapok-tapok ta, di ba? Sa kinaunhan kay forming, getting to know each other. Storming is diri na nato makita ang mga kanang danay mga conflict, bitan magsabot ta within the group, kanang parehaan ng research, kani imuha ning background of the study, imuha ning kaning statement of the problem niya. Diri nato makita nga ay ngano man ana guys ug ninyo kuanoy, diri nato makita mo ra gid kanang naanay a certain conflict within the group. So when we say kuan, as a people become frustrated within another's differences in approach. So maglisod kag kanang kuan ganin nang kuanoy kanang pwede tabangan ko nimo ana yan ay uban nga ayun ko yun kamo nang ano tarunga na ninyo ana. So proceed to norming. So in this stage, this is when people start to resolve their differences, build one another's strength, and respect you as a leader. So diri nga part kay kuan, kanang katong mga conflict, mga boundaries nato pagniyaging stage of kanang how we understand the group dynamics kay diri nga part kay kanang ato nang ma-resolve ang atong mga differences kabaw na ta nga ay kani siya dapat kuan ta kanang ma-pride ba ni siya nga pagkatao, dapat kanang kuanta kanang atong ipamubo ang mga pamatasan, which either anha nato makita as a leader kanang para ma-respect respetuon sad ka sa imuhang members of group. So fourth is performing. Next part. So performing is diri nga part is your team members reach this stage when they are able to achieve the group goal without friction. So diri nga part kay kanang makuha na sa team members kung unsa joy tumong without kanang arguments, walay kanang away-away, diha na nato makuha nga kanang sige na kanang sa kuan pa kanang diha nato ma-achieve ang goals without kanang argumentation, walay away-away. So then fifth is unjourning. So unjourning kay kuan diri nga stage kay ma-achieve na nato ang kuan a leadership style, diha nato makita ang kanang kahumanan or tumong sa ato ang task within a group. Diha nato makita nga kanang nindot ang ato ang kuan with if kanang nindot ato ang basta ana nato makita ang kanang a leadership style. So fourth is communication is a key. So when we say communication is a key, so diha nato nga part di ba kay shall we say kuan man good ang group dynamics is interaction. So mag-need siya communication with the group. So how effectively a group communications can determine the overall success or failure of the group in reaching its goal. Many methods of communication may be used with groups working towards a common business goal. So diha na to nga part kay importante man gud ang communication within the group kay para magka-understand ta to each other. So next. Next is clarifying expectations. So, di ba, most probably sa to kay kanang sa ka grupo mag-expect igtag too much because kanang kuan man gud kanang mas magkanang mag-una ang imong kuan kanang expectation versus reality. Pareha ng post sa Facebook, diba? Expectation versus reality. Expect nimo nga unta maayo ang amo ang kuan ay kini ka kung kagrupo nindot ni sila kugihan ana. So in reality di ay kanang pasagdaan ra day kanila as a leader. So when we say expectation is the often unspoken ideas we have of how things are going to be. So di ba mura siya kanang advance mag-isip ana ba then or how P will behave or how people will react. So diri nga part kay, di ba, maana ta nga unta akong kagrupo kanang hindot nya, unta akong kagrupo kanang kugihan, mao na imong expectation. But in reality, ay nana kala di man di ay na kuan man ko na disappoint man di ko sa ilahang kuan as a group, sayop daya nga ako ang expectation nila. So diri nga part, clarifying expectation, we should kanang ilahon sa nimo ang usa ka tawo kay diha nga part man gud kung ilahon nimo ang usa ka tawo, dapat kanang kibahaw ka on sa differences niya, kay anha man gud nato makita kanang kuan the way he kanang operate within a group. So mas maayo sad dapat in a group kay inyo sang sabutan kung usa may expect na to ani as a one, as a whole, dapat maayo ba na mao na siya ang the way or how we clarifying expectation. Thank you, that's it. Next part.
So, group problem solving. So, there will be some form of problem solving required of a group. So, daghan man ang klase-klase nga problem solving nga angayan natin i-solve kung it comes sa group. So, it is when a group is trying to accomplish something that the interactions or dynamics become stronger, especially if the group is under constraints in the time and resources. So one of the group problem solving is kanang wala nato na kita ang atong mog nagkakuwang ta sa time nato nga pag spent ba sa as a group. So to be more successful, the group problem solving, it depends first on good communication among the members. So kinahanglan jud nga natay kanang good communication towards sa ato ang mga ka-group, kay dili ba na pwede nga group baya. So kinahanglan nga natay communication each other as a group. So members must offer what they know, observe, think, and they feel to be more effective. So mo open up ka unsay imong nahibaw-an para i-share nimo para mas dali nato masolba ang kanang problem. So if inana nga nakay lahi-lahi betag opinion, lahi-lahi ta og kanang mahuna-hunaan. So para makuha nato, mausa nato kung unsa nato ang mga idea para masolba nato ang problem. So the following are some recommendations for effectively solving a problem as a group. So, first is kinahanglan nga magkasinabtanay ang usag-usa nga member about sa problem. Next part. So, team building. So, team is a group that has spent some time together and achieve cohesiveness. A team strength found in relationship among the team members. So, team. So, may team is a group. So, kinahanglan dyan na natin relationship among sa atong team para makita nato kung asa atong pagdungan nga natin same nga goal sa ato ang as a group. Then, it is a group with a common objective whose members are very clear about working toward one purpose. So, kita-kita, so kita kay dapat as a group sa kanang una sa kanang kumpanya or sa kuan dapat usara ato ang di natin kanang kaparehas sa ninyo objective sa ato ang sa atong unsa na atong gibuhat para kay usara ba sa datong purpose ani kaitan sa ato ang karon sa atong research. So usara ba atong purpose ani nga makahumanta. So kinahanglan same common ta og objective sa usag-usa para kay usara ba sa atong purpose niini sa ato ang kuan sa ato ang kaning project. Inyuhan na Pat. So, an ideal team has a number of distinct characteristics, and they fall into 3 areas. So, the first one is the feedback and communication behaviors. So, ari sa feedback and communication behaviors, it describes how the members talk with one another, react, and offer their opinion. So, mao taong giingon nga, it kuan sa kanang the good communication towards sa imuhang members, towards sa kanang imuhang istorya. Then, behavior and conduct courtesies. It describes the protocols that the members have agreed to as a responsibility of being a member of a team. So, if ikaw nga ni-join ka ana, so kay ba ni-join ka sa group, kay ba naka-unsay imong responsibility nga dapat imo sang ihatag ang imuhang best. So, 3 is the ways of approaching tasks and problems. So, as a group, so kinahanglan kung asa ka naglisod ngadto dapita, so kinahanglan ka mo approach kung kinsa toy nakaibaw dito sa imong grupo, mo approach ka sa imong mga problem nga or sa kanang gi-assign nimo nga task nga oy kani ba unsaon din ipaghimo kanang nagkalisod jud ko diri dapita. Yeah, mo to kay para masolbad og dali sa imong imong giduulan para matabangan sad ka. Next.
So, group functions. A functional group is created by the organization to accomplish specific goals within an unspecified time frame. Such functions include the following. Next, working on a complex and independent task that is too complex for an individual to perform and that cannot be easily broken down into independent tasks. So which means na basta dili klaro or lisod ang task para sa leader kay dili siya magbuhatan ng individual task. So, dapat i-make sure po sa laing members na hatag sila o ma-share sila sa ilahang kanang ilahang idea po ba para dili gali maglisod ang leader o buhat sa inyong task. Next is generating new ideas or creative solutions to solve problems that requires inputs from several people. So, dapat each members kay mo generate sila of new ideas or create sila of solutions para if in case na naay conflict sa inyong group or naay problem sa inyong task kay ma-fix bigla na ninyo. And next is serving liaison or coordinating functions among several work groups whose work is to some extent independent. So, dapat each members can mo communicate sila or mo cooperate sa leader and be responsible for. Next, please. But facilitating the implementation of complex decisions. A group composed of representatives from various working groups can coordinate the activities of this interrelated group. Each working group by nanasalize each representative, then by that he or she can be able to coordinate and do the designated tasks. Serving as a vehicle for training new employees, groups teach new members methods of operation, group norms. So, bali, dapat mo train, dapat if new employee ka, dapat mo undergo ka o kanang training para makahibaw balik ka sa operation sa business and makahibaw ka sa angay o dili aton sa sud sa workplace. And the last one is the importance of groups and organizations cannot be overemphasized because most of the organizational activities are carried out by groups and simply sila ang mo take charge sa organization activities. Next part.
Okay, sumunungan ako. So, now, we will proceed to the Bruce Tuckman stages of group development. So, kaning group development is a dynamic process. Yeah. When you say dynamic, it means it is characterized by constant change. Ang group kay dili kay as is na siya. Mag-grow na siya, nga na-adjust na siya ikausaban. So, how do groups evolve man? So, each stage plays a vital part in building a high-functioning team. So, sa Binisaya pa, kaning 5 ka stages kay importante gini siya pag-form og kanang team nga naanay talents and skills para maka-perform well o kanang maka-produce og kanang nindot nga result. So, according to Bruce Tuckman, teams go through 5 stages of development, which is forming, norming, performing, and adjourning. So the stages start from the time that the group first meets until the project ends. Tuckman didn't just have a knack for rhyming, although it does not make the stages easier to remember. Each is aptly named and plays a vital part in building a high-functioning team. So kaning 5 ka stages kay importante gid ni siya in building a team. So the first stage is the forming stage. The first stage of team development is forming, which is a lot like orientation day at college or a new job. You could even compare it to going out on a first date. The team has just been introduced and everyone is overly polite and pleasant. At the start, most are excited to start something new and get to know the other team members. So, ang kaning forming stage kay diri pa ni siya magsugod tanan, diri pa ma-form ang usa ka group. Nya, bali in a relationship pa getting to know each other ni siya na stage. Nya, during this stage, you may discuss during this stage, you may discuss the member's skills, background, and interest. Ay kani siya nga member kay kuan ni siya may ni siya mo drawing, kani siya nga member kay may ni siya kanang problem solving. Kani siya nga member kay kuan din ni siya ay ganahan ni siya kanang K-pop. Kani nga member ay kay ganahan din ni siya magkuan, magkanang sayo-sayaw. Sa mao na siya kani nga stage kay kanang magila-ila mo sa kanang mga members sa group. Nya. Project goals. Unsay kanang ganahan, unsay kanang mga goals ninyo in the future ani nga group. Then timeline and your ground rules. Kanang ground rules kay kanang mao ni siya ang kanang mga principles or kanang mga rules ninyo sa grupo. And then ang individual roles kay mao ni siya ang kanang mga roles sa each members. Nya, as the group starts to familiarize themselves, roles and responsibilities will begin to form. Yeah. It's important for team members to develop relationships and understand what part each person plays. So, diri sa forming stage kay diri na mag-familiarize ang kanang mga individuals, unya diri na sad sila magkuan sa kanang mga roles ug kanang unsang mga responsibilities nila sa grupo niya. Sa kaning forming stage kay since bago pa man ni siya na form, so ang team kay dili pa kay ni siya kanang productive kay mao lagi kanang polite pa kayo to each other, wala pa kayo dili pa kay kaila. So dili pa kay ni siya productive as a team since bago pa man siya. So the second stage is the storming stage. So, have you ever reached a point in a relationship where you become aware of a person's characteristics and they frustrate, squeeze the toothpaste from the top of the tube instead of the bottom, eat with their mouth open, or they listen to the same Drake song 15 times in a row? Well, congrats, you've entered the storming stage. Yeah. So, ang kaning storming stage kay diri na ni mo gawas ang kanang mga conflicts sa usa ka grupo. Bali diri na ni manggawas ang kanang mga batasan nga dili din nimo ganahan sa usa ka tawo. Nya daghan kay kanang problema nga mo gawas ani kay ay kani siya nga tawo kay ay kanang din ni siya ganahan mo cooperate. Ana kaning usa kay ay passive ra man kani siya, maghuwat ra sa kanang ubang tawo. Ay kani siya kay ma-pride kena so diha na manggawas ang kanang mga batasan nga dili maayo nya kanang makakos na kanang conflict sa kanang usa ka grupo. So diri kanang ang cooperation, ang teamwork ug ang communication kay dili na kayo kuan ba kanang dili na kay nindot since kanang daghan naman kay kanang mga problema nga manggawas. So ang sa group development ay bali kaning friendship or relationship kay is just like kanang group dynamics man kay kanang being in a team is like being in a relationship. At first you may think someone is perfect and flawless, but then you realize that they aren't. Once you're aware of their flaws, you either learn to embrace them or the relationship will end quickly. So, mo to akong giingon ganiha nga kanang diri na manggawas ang kanang mga buti nga batasan. Pero it's up to the individuals whether kanang saon nila pag-cope ani nga kanang mga personalities. Whether ilaha ba ning kanang i-accept na lang or kanang pride kayo dili jud ganahan mo kuan. So, mao ni siya kanang storming stage, mao jud ni siya ang pinaka kanang vital part sa group development. So next is in the storming stage, the reality and weight of completing that task hand have now hit everyone. The initial feelings of excitement and the need to be polite have likely worn off. So, mao na siya kay kanang kaila naman kay isa ka ng mga batasan dili na kayo kuan ba. Personalities may clash jud. The members might disagree over how to complete a task or voice their concerns if they feel that someone isn't pulling their weight. And they may even question the authority or guidance of group leaders. Yeah. But it is important to remember that most teams experience conflict. So if you are the leader, remind members that disagreements are normal. Some teams skip over the storming stage or try to avoid conflict at whatever cost. Avoidance usually makes a problem grow until it blows up, so recognize conflicts and resolve them early on. So, storming stage is kanang pinaka-vital, niya kanang pinaka-importante jud since dira man magsugod ang conflict. In order for the team to develop, they must recognize the problem. Yeah, they must resolve it instead of kanang avoiding kay if kanang inyo i-avoid ang conflict, mas mo-grow hinoon ang kuan sa grupo. So, that's all sa storming stage.
So next is norming stage. During the norming stage, people start to notice and appreciate their team members' strengths. Groups start to settle into a group. Everyone is contributing and working as a cohesive unit. Of course, you may still think that your tech guy's choice in music is obnoxious, but you also admire his knowledge of web design and coding skills and value his opinions on anything tech related. Storming sometimes overlaps with norming as new tasks arise. Fubes may still experience a few conflicts. If you've already dealt with disagreements before, it will probably be easier to adjust this time. So, ang norming stage kay aron ang manotice sa people or sa members and ma-appreciate nila ang ilahang team members, and if maka-experience na mga conflicts sa inyong task kay dali ra ninyo siya ma-deal kay bawa naman mo sa strength o weaknesses sa inyong members. Next part. Performing stage. If you've reached the fourth stage, self on the back, you are on your way to success. In the performing stage, members are confident, motivated, and familiar enough with the project and their team that they can operate without supervision. Everyone is on the same page and driving full speed ahead towards the final goal. The fourth stage is the one that all groups strive to reach, yet some do not make it. They usually fail to overcome conflict and get to work together. Performing stage kay ang each members kay confident na na-motivate na nila ilang self and ilan nang more na familiarize na nila ang ilang project. So ang muna ang team members kay ma-operate na nila ang ilang mga tasks without supervision. This is adjourning stage. Once the project ends, the team disbands. This phase, sometimes known as mourning, because members have grown close and feel a loss now that the experience is over. Ang adjourning stage kay most of the team goes kay sa ilahang task, successful ang ilahang gibuhat.
Next, Pat. How can you help your team advance in so dapat ang imong dapat imong purpose or ang imong mission kay should be clear enough para mas makasabot ang imong members or imong workers. Second is set ground rules and make sure they are followed. If maghimo man ka rules sa imong group kay dapat imong i-make sure nga naka-follow jud sila nimo, then dapat imong silang pangutan-on if unsa ilahang wala nasabtan ba or unsa ilahang mga question pod. Third is let other members act as leader or facilitator. So ang kani dapat kanang if ikaw leader dapat pud imong puntagaan o chance ang imong members na mo-act sa leader. Then dapat maminaw pud ka sa mga suggestions kay dili ingon dapat abig leader ka dapat imo ra tanan kung unsa imong gusto buhaton so dapat maminaw pud ka sa suggestion para mas mo kuan ninyo ang inyong team kay mas strong enough. Fourth is don't try to avoid conflict. It is normal and can be healthy. So kani kay dili man jud ni siya mawala. And if namoy task kay dili jud siya di jud nimo ma-avoid nga na siya conflicts may tabo. So dapat imo jud siyang dapat imo jud siyang kanang atubangon and kanang kisa ka mo sa tingog. 5. Remind group members to listen. If mag-set ka og meeting sa imong group, dapat i-make sure nimo nga naminaw sila. Dapat naka-focus ra sila nimo, dapat i-avoid nimo sila nga dapat dili sa magamit og phones or unsay mga kanang mga dili importante buhaton. So dapat imo sila i-make sure nga naminaw sila tarong nimo para makasunod sila sa imong task nga imong ipabuhat nila. 6. End each meeting with insightful and constructive feedback that improves the group process. Dapat if mo-ana nimo ang meeting kay mangutan ka sa ilahang feedback ba kung unsay angay pangpun-an or unsay angay pa kanang kuan nga para mas munindot ang inyong task or ang inyong project. 7 is to progress. Everyone must contribute and participate. So, as a group, dapat should each members kay mo contribute sila o more participate sa task. Dapat mo tabang sa tanan, dili kay ang leader ay mo himo. So, mo to siya, guys.
So, summary of the report. So, to summarize it all, group dynamics deals with attitude and behavioral patterns of a group. Group dynamics concerns how groups are formed, what is their structure, and which processes are followed in their functioning. Thus, it is concerned with interactions and forces operating between groups. So, ang group dynamics magamit nimo for problem solving, teamwork, and to become more innovative and productive as an organization as a whole. So, ang kaning group dynamics kay kanang pwede ni siya sa kanang sports team or kanang singing group or academic club. So, know your group dynamics helps in understanding how your group makes decisions, how your group responds to the change, how members of your group interact with each other, and how your group interacts with other group. So, there are different types of kanang social group, and that is the dyad, the triad, mobs, crowds, and congregations. So, ang kaning dyad kay mao to siya ang kuan most basic fundamental type of social group nga kanang consist of kanang two people, while triad is a social group that consists of three people. And then there are different types of group. These are the primary group, the social group, and the collectives, and the categorized. So primary groups are small long-term groups characterized by face-to-face interaction and high levels of cohesiveness, solidarity, and identification, while social groups are small groups of moderate duration and permeability characterized by moderate levels of interaction among the members over an extended period of time, often in goal-focused situations. Walang collectives kay kuan siya kanang it only lasts a brief period of time and have a very permeable boundaries. While the last one, categorized is kanang aggregations of individuals who are similar to one another in some way, such as the gender, the ethnicity, religion, or nationality. Yeah. So, group problem solving is you need to communicate among the members on how to solve their problems, and that is the way to make your team stronger and to be more successful. And in dynamics, team building is very important because you can get to know each other and have a relationship among the teams and working towards one purpose. An ideal team has a number of distinct characteristics, and they fall into three areas, which is the feedback and communication behaviors is to describe how the members talk with one another, behavior that describe the protocols that the members have agreed, and lastly, the ways of approaching tasks and problems. So, Bruce Tuckman said that teams go through 5 stages of the development. So, mao to siya ang katong forming stage, the forming stage, the storming stage, the norming stage, performing stage, and adjourning stage. So, forming stage is a lot like orientation day, or a team has just been introduced and get to know each other team members. While second stage is the storming stage, that you need to aware of a person's characteristics so that you can frustrate or annoy them and learn to embrace their flaws. And the third one is the norming stage. People start to notice and appreciate their team members' strength, and everyone is contributing and working as a cohesive unit. And the fourth one is the performing stage. Members are confident, motivated, and familiar enough with the project. And lastly, the adjourning team is most of the team's goals have been accomplished. You can help your team advance in their development by setting a clear purpose and mission. Set rules, let other members act as a leader. Don't try to avoid conflict. Remind group members to listen, constructive feedback, and everyone must contribute and participate. So, in group development, knowing each of these stages is necessary for your group to grow, to face challenges, to overcome problems, to find solutions, to plan projects, and to deliver good results. So, that is all for the summary of the group dynamics report.
So that's our topic for today. Thank you.